putting one deal together, making over 10K up front. Now, with that, you are also going to get monthly cash flow of $400 a month.
Overall, this is about a $4 total profit.
Hey everybody, this is Cam Rowland from Creative Investor. I'm super excited about this interview with Kyle. We're talking about his most recent deal where he received over 10K upfront from just putting the deal together. He's going to talk about his first ever rent-own deal that he did. And also at the end, we're going to be talking about a Boxing Week special that we've got for those of you, those real estate investors, you, who want to learn how to do these deals, learn how to figure out how to do them correctly, and make the same kind of money that Kyle's making. Watch till the end.
It basically becomes revenue and income immediately. I ran that through my lawyers, and that's something that we were able to do. So of the 10,000, 5,000 is an application fee. The other 5,000 is the refundable amount.
Okay.
And obviously all 10,000 will be credited back to them as part of their down payment if and when they close on this, on the rent zone, and they're able to purchase the property. So,
okay. All right. So, wow, this is pretty cool. So you're saying that you structured the deal and you pre-qualified your tenant buyers by finding out what their credit score is and how long they need. You figured out that they needed about 36 months, which is standard. They put down, let's just call it 10. But of that 10, you immediately get 5, correct?
yes.
And then you're getting a consulting fee from this deal. And that's, whether that's 1,000 or 3,000, doesn't really matter. You're getting some sort of fee, and I can venture to guess it's not in the hundreds of dollars. It's probably in the thousands.
Yes.
Right? Okay, cool.
Yes,
good.
correct.
And when you bring in your investor to help close the deal up, you're getting another 5,000 from that investor.
Yes. Yeah.
So from this deal that you're putting together up front, you're getting 10K plus your consulting fee.
That's correct.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could say some ways you could spend that money, but that's not up to me. But that's from one deal.
Plus some rent differential, which is built into the rental rate. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Because the rent's $2,500 a month. So you're saying that you're going to make some profit in there, which is awesome. And you're going to get the $400 a month, which you are saving up for the tenant buyer. But that essentially comes back to you when the deal's all over. And plus, are you going to make some money at the end of the deal when it closes?
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, this is about a $40,000 total profit. And that again is that's a combination of the money up front made from the application fee and the acquisition fee, and then the monthly contributions to their down payment, which again, it's the monthly cash flow to be utilized in the business. It's a liability till the end because it is credited to them as down payment. However, it's usable within the business.
Yeah.
Because at the end, again, their price is appreciated annually. So there is profit at the back end when they actually purchase the property. So again, the combination of upfront and then payments throughout and then cash at close, it's a $40,000 profit on this one deal.
Okay. And how much of your own money are you using on this deal?
I guess I paid for a home inspection. I paid for an appraisal.
Okay.
And when I say this is through my business. Again, obviously you're aware I do this full time. And so through the business, I do this, but for anybody looking to start, basically that's it. That's it. This isn't a sandwich lease deal, so there's no consideration for the owner up front. So, I mean, basically like $1,100 for those particular items. But again, there's $10,000 coming in at the beginning of the deal anyway.
Mhm.
I had the application fee from the tenant buyers before I had to put any of that money out anyway.
Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah, on this particular one, after I had the house inspection, I was also able to negotiate an additional $5,000 reduction from the seller to take care of a few items,
Hmm.
which, yeah. So um, that's something that I like to do regardless. I want to make sure that the house that my tenant buyers are moving into is in great shape.
Mhm.
And so there were a few items that were deficient that I'll have fixed up, and that will not be cash out of pocket either, because
Mhm.
I negotiated that into the deal.
Wow. Very cool. My head's spinning with ideas. I love this. There's so many cool different ways that you've done multiple different things here. Now, was your first deal that you did, your first rent-own deal, was it similar to this, or was it different? I mean, I'm assuming it was different, but
Yeah, I mean there were similarities and differences for sure. That's one thing, is every deal is unique.
mhm.
I do like that there are some similarities, but I guess the first deal, the first rent own that I did, which is a few years ago now, Cam, but it was a flip. So in that particular instance, it was a house that was already owned. I already owned it through my business, and ultimately we chose rent own as an alternative exit strategy rather
Mhm.
than selling on the open market. Um, yeah, for a few reasons at that time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's when we first met, I believe, right? When
Yeah,
you were doing that deal, and the house that you were flipping, it was on the market, but it wasn't selling for the price that you needed or wanted.
yeah. We
Right.
were we were actually around a similar time of year. We were heading into December, coming up on Christmas, where things really slow down. And as you're aware, with a flip, you have carrying costs. So
Mhm. Yeah.
every week that goes by is another piece of a chunk of that profit that's lost to the carry. Um, and on that particular one, we happened to find a few things, behind the walls that we didn't anticipate. So we had a little bit of a scope creep, which added to the schedule, which then put us into December instead of selling in, it's kind of October.
Mhm.
And instead of it being a nice profitable flip, it looked like we were going to break even or maybe even lose, a few $1,000s. Nothing outrageous, but I like to say you either pay for your lessons through hardship and paying for it in that way, maybe
Mhm.
losing money on a deal, or you pay for, mentorship and coaching for people that have already gone through those mistakes. So
Mhm.
this particular one, it looked like we might break even or lose a couple $1,000s. And then that's when I contacted you and I said, I got this house. I'm looking for an alternative. What do you think about rent own? And I don't know if you remember, but you said it was basically a perfect opportunity for a rent
Mhm.
own. It was all shiny and new on the inside, and it was ready to go for a new family. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, that ended up being fantastic. We basically turned what would have been a flip of break even or a couple of $1,000 loss into a $43,000 profit on a 4-year
Wow.
rent own deal.
That's amazing on your first
Yeah,
deal too.
yeah,
That's awesome. So I'm just thinking, for anyone who's watching this that hasn't put together a rent-own deal, uh, I can imagine that their brain would be spinning with, how could I put together this deal? So you talked about your first one being a flip that you did, that you ended up changing your strategy into a rent-own. What about somebody who has got a couple rental properties, but they're full and they want to grow? Um, what would be their first step to start figuring out if this strategy is for them? Like, would they start just calling up tenant buyers, like start calling tenants saying, hey, do you want to do a rent to own, or put up an ad saying, hey, I want to put together a rent to own? Like, what would you say would be something that they could do like tonight to start figuring out if this strategy is for them?
yeah. I mean, I would always say education is very important. So
Mhm.
what I mean by that is talk to some people that know about it. and figure out what it is you want to do, right? You said grow. You said somebody that wants to grow. Does that mean more doors? More doors, or does that mean maximizing the profit on the houses they have? Because those are two very different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody has 4 houses and they want to maximize their profits. Don't sell like, I shouldn't say, like, realtors are great. They do their job well.
Sure.
I use realtors in my business regularly. But if you want to maximize your profits on those 4 houses you already own, sell them as rent owns. You eliminate the realtor fees. You can, basically get top dollar for the property. You can continue to get principal pay down on those properties for a period of time while your tenant buyers are living in it, paying you rent, fixing to purchase it themselves.
Yeah.
So that's why I say talk to somebody, get educated to understand the strategy, because that's maximizing profit on what they own. The other side would be if they want to grow and expand and get more doors. Well, in that case, what do you want to do? Do you want to do tenant buyer first, where you're finding tenants and then finding a property that fits the bill for that particular tenant buyer?
Yeah.
Or are you looking to find some houses that need some work, and or even houses that don't need work, and then find tenant buyers that fit that, right? I mean, there's so many ways to do rent zone. For me, I would say figure out what you want first, right? Sit down. What are your goals? Write down your goals, and then figure out, and then from there you can figure out what strategy you want to use, and if rent zone is the right strategy to help you with that.
For sure. Very cool. I don't want to take up too much more of your time here. This is awesome. One of the things that you and I have talked about, because you are coaching alongside me, is that we are starting a new cohort on January 5th. It's a Monday night, basically, where we go through the 6 weeks to rent own cash flow course, which is a self-study, but we also do it as a cohort. So I've had people just purchase it as a self-study. They bought it, they did their own things, but then we've also done it where we actually go through it together as a group. Now, when you started, Kyle, did I have that, or did I have the previous version of that? Do you recall? Was it called the 6 weeks rent own cash flow course?
Yeah, that's what I had taken. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think this is the version 2.0, but nonetheless, it's still got the important stuff that you need to put together a deal. But one of the things that we were talking about, because it's Boxing Week, we want to offer a Boxing Week discounted rate. So the regular price for the 6 weeks rental and cash flow course is $19.97 on its own. But what we're doing this week, for those who sign up and want to become part of the cohort, is that we're going to give 6 months of free coaching. So basically what that means is that you get the cohort part, the coaching, for free. And, for me, over the years, as I've taken real estate education courses, the biggest piece for me was actually the coaching, because I bought lots of different courses from a couple different service providers here in Canada and some in the States, and lots of great material, but the implementation was often difficult when I was doing it solo. I was able to do some, but what I find and what I hear is that it's the coaching that adds the accountability, adds the motivation, it adds the clarifying questions, it adds the 1 degree course correction in your strategy to make you that much more successful, that much faster. And I love that you said on your first deal you made, was it 48 or something on your first deal?
43,000. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's my goal that anybody who takes our coaching, that they make between 7,000 and 50,000 on their first deal. So you did that. You made 48. I've had other students who have made like 10. And these are all people who do the work, and they make the phone calls and they stretch themselves. And so, yeah, I thought it was good timing, Kyle, for us to jump on here together live to talk about your most current deal, which is an amazing deal, as well as to announce this cohort that's coming up with this amazing deal where you get 6 months of free coaching. And that is a $3,000 value. The regular coaching price is $497 a month. So yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're doing. I mean, you and I are actively doing deals. I think you've been doing more deals than me lately, which is awesome.